It sounds harsher than it's meant to be. But Daniel Ricciardo says ignorance is bliss in explaining why Lando Norris is so effective at McLaren. Norris has outperformed Ricciardo during their 40 races together as teammates, to the tune of 117 points. Even though it was the Australian who scored the only victory when he led home in a 1-2 at the 2021 Italian Grand Prix. For that reason, Ricciardo's contract is being terminated a year early, at the end of this season, when he will be replaced by his young compatriot Oscar Piastri. With his vast experience and 7 Grand Prix wins before he joined McLaren, some pundits had thought that Ricciardo would put Norris in his pocket quickly, but it proved to be the reverse scenario. In discussing why things have turned out the way they have, the 33-year-old has pointed to a couple of factors continuing in the favour of the driver 11 years his junior. If I'm going to give you a short answer, I'll put it down to 2 things, he said, Ricciardo during an interview with the race. 1, I never take credit away from him. The kid's good. There's no denying that. And if I say he's not, I'm just being bitter. I'm just being a bitter sore loser. The kid's good. That's obviously one element. He can steer. The second is ignorance is bliss, and I'm not saying that he's got no knowledge of race cars, not at all. I think he's quite actually in tune with what he does from a technical point of view. But it's the only F1 car he's driven. Obviously, there have been variations of the McLaren, but he hasn't driven for another team. So in a way, he has got, I'm sure, used to some elements of the car. There's probably a bit of that where I've obviously got some, I hate this word, but I've just got to use it for a lack of better words right now, expectation of maybe what a Formula 1 car can do or should do, or where some potential lies. He does now because he watches onboards and he sees what other drivers can do. Yeah, I wish we could do that. The rear doesn't do what I want, but ultimately he hasn't been behind the wheel of another car, so obviously he's good, and there's an element of ignorance is bliss. So yeah, Ricciardo on Lando Norris thinks ignorance is bliss. I'll be back with more F1 news very soon. Thanks for watching.